that strapped up. We're just gonna push the loader back right now. And then what we're gonna do is hook onto this eyelet right here on the engine. And we'll be able to support that engine. Seeing as it's only got 2 mounts on the back, this thing's gonna fall down when we unbolt the transmission, so we don't need that. Those bolts for that drive shaft, they're a 10 millimeter 12 point socket. So we got all that stuff off, and then just got to go around and undo all of these bell housing bolts basically. And we've got 4 bolts, these plates here. I'm not sure if we're going to, I think we're just going to unbolt the plates off of the side of the transmission to save from the actual mounts getting caught up on stuff, because we still have a bunch of components that are bolted onto the frame. So we'll get this thing pushed back and rigged up. Are we just gonna let it drain out for a bit? Okay.
Instead of running around the shop with it.
Oh, come on. I'm sure you can make it out pretty quick. These mounts were a real pain to get to, the bolts. I know we got an access hole right here with forklifts in front of there, so you're fighting that. They're 24 mil bolts, 4 of them that hold this mount to the transmission pan or block. And then these big guys here are 28s, I believe, 27 or 28 big bolts. But we took one mount out on the other side just to be able to push the transmission over that way. And then what we ended up having to do was just tilt the transmission like this and take it out, because a bunch of the housing actually protrudes underneath of this frame. So we had to be able to take it out that way. Now the connecting gear that comes out of the transmission into this torque converter housing meshes into there. All this separated very nicely. We had all the bell housing bolts out, actually just came right off, no problem. So didn't even really have to pry it too much. We just shook it and away it came. We did have to remove more hydraulic lines, a lot of mounting bolts for brackets and whatnot, and get all them hydraulic lines out of the way. Not many wiring harnesses, really basic, just a lot of hydraulic lines. You can see them. So all right, we're gonna be changing out these solenoids. Well, we'll inspect them first, but on this valve body, obviously manual or automatic transmission, we got these solenoids. These are the coils, and this is actually the solenoid body that has the actual pintle inside of it. Now, these were changed out not too long ago, and they're expensive. So we're gonna go ahead and open these up and see if they're nice and clean, and then if they are, we may switch them over to the new transmission. So the nut that's on the outside here is a 21 mil, and then I just have a 1 1/8" socket. So you can see how there's like holes in there. Kind of scares me using these because, you know, this transmission was slipping, and like I say, it had a lot of contaminants and metal and all that stuff inside the pan. So if that's getting circulated through and gets past the filter and gets into the valve body, Now there's a possibility that it could have gotten inside of these solenoids. That's the last thing that I want to do, is install these into our known good transmission and contaminate the fluid. But we will take a look at these and see if I can get my camera to focus. There we go. We'll look in those holes and see what's up. Looks like there's a little mesh screen on the end there. Probably can't see it that well. There you go. So we'll check them out. At least, at minimum, we'll be changing these coils over. Yep. All right, so we're pulling this filter out. We think it's a filter anyways. Oh yeah. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, 3 magnets. Definitely caught a lot of stuff. That's crazy.
That's nothing compared to what it was before.
I bet you it was just full of stuff.
Big stuff.
That's crazy. Wild that you're able to just change the filter and fluid and then it started running again. And then it still ran. We were able to drive it in. So the first time that they removed the filter, that's what it looked like. Absolutely terrible. Look at the friggin' chunks inside of that thing. Chunky Campbell soup.